Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into a topic that's both fascinating and incredibly important, victimology. We're going to explore the theories of victimization, the pioneers who shaped this field, and the real-world implications of these ideas. Stick around because this is something you won't want to miss. Let's start with a question. Have you ever wondered why certain people or groups are more likely to become victims of crime? It's easy to think of crime as purely random, but victimologists, yes, that's a real term, have been studying this for decades. They've identified patterns, causes, and even ways to prevent victimization. One of the first things to understand is that victimology isn't just about studying victims, it's about understanding the interaction between victims and criminals. Hans von Hentig, one of the pioneers in the field, argued that too much focus was placed on criminals while victims were often overlooked. He identified characteristics that could increase someone's likelihood of being victimized. For example, he noted that the elderly, mentally ill, and even people with certain professions were at higher risk. Think about it. Who do scammers usually target? The elderly. Who are often in vulnerable situations? Those with mental illness. But von Hentig wasn't alone. Another key figure, Benjamin Mendelsohn, is known as the father of victimology. He had an ambitious vision. He wanted victimology to be studied in universities, he called for textbooks and journals, and he even pushed for international conferences focused on victims of all kinds, not just crime but also disasters and discrimination. If you've ever taken a class on victimology, you have Mendelsohn to thank. Now, let's talk about how crime happens. There are multiple theories of victimization, but one of the most well-known is the lifestyle and routine activities theory. This theory suggests that your daily activities, where you work, where you shop, where you hang out, can influence your likelihood of being a victim. If you frequent high-crime areas or go out late at night alone, your chances of encountering an offender go up. It's not about blaming the victim but about recognizing risk factors. Building on this, we have routine activity theory, developed by Cohen and Felsen. This one's interesting because it shifts the focus from the victim to the environment. It argues that crime happens when three things align: a motivated offender, a suitable target, and the absence of a capable guardian. Let's break that down. Imagine you leave your car unlocked in a parking lot with your laptop sitting in the front seat. If there's a thief nearby and no security cameras or passers-by to intervene, the conditions are perfect for a crime. This theory helps law enforcement strategize crime prevention by increasing guardianship, think better lighting, surveillance, and community policing. Another theory worth noting is opportunity theory. This one expands on lifestyle and routine activity theories and emphasizes how certain factors make victimization more likely. For example, homes without security systems, people who flaunt expensive jewelry, or even cybercrime. Think about how online scammers prey on people who aren't tech-savvy. Now, let's talk about something a bit controversial: victim precipitation. Marvin Wolfgang studied homicide cases and found that in some situations, the victim actually played a role in triggering the event. This doesn't mean they deserved it, but it does raise important questions. Imagine two people in a bar fight. If one person throws the first punch and the other retaliates lethally, Wolfgang would argue that the first person precipitated the crime. Again, it's about understanding dynamics, not shifting blame. One of the more psychological approaches to victimization comes from social learning theory by Ronald Akers. This theory argues that people learn behavior by observing others. If someone grows up in an environment where crime is normalized and goes unpunished, they're more likely to both commit crimes and become victims themselves. This is why breaking cycles of violence is so crucial. What we accept as normal can shape our entire lives. And speaking of personal traits, let's touch on the general theory of crime by Gottfredson and Hirschi. They proposed that low self-control is one of the biggest predictors of criminal behavior. But what's fascinating is that Christopher Schreck later expanded on this and found that low self-control isn't just linked to offending, it also increases the risk of becoming a victim. Think about impulsive decisions, walking alone in a dark alley, trusting strangers too quickly, engaging in risky behaviors. This theory highlights that sometimes, the same traits that lead people to commit crimes also make them more vulnerable to victimization. Alright, we've covered a lot, but before we wrap up, let's reflect on why this matters. Understanding victimization isn't just academic, it has real-world applications. It helps law enforcement develop better crime prevention strategies, it aids policymakers in crafting effective victim assistance programs, and most importantly, it empowers individuals with knowledge that could help them stay safe. So here's my question for you. How can society do a better job of preventing victimization? Do we need better education on risk factors? More security measures? Or do we need to focus more on social structures that create crime in the first place? Let me know in the comments below. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Stay informed, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.